Welcome back. I'm going to go over investment opportunities in Lawton, Oklahoma. That's right. Small town USA, suburban growth and path of growth, one of the best trade secrets of real estate investing. This is the tip of the iceberg. We can talk about long-term rental with a secondary objective of at some point in time, investors purchase in this market, they could pivot into a mid-term rental or even short-term rental. I call it the trifecta of real estate investing, and the purchase price point is absolutely mind-boggling how such a low-level price point cash flow turnkey properties can produce potentially over time so many multiple streams of income, very low risk and very high reward. Again, Lawton, Oklahoma, trifecta, mainly your goal should be long-term rental. Over time, once you get comfortable with this market, after you own this rental property for several years, then you will potentially do some further research to determine whether a short-term rental or mid-term rental might be appropriate to your situation. So without further ado, and let's go over this. Just so you know, Lawton, Oklahoma is right outside U.S. Army Fort Sill. By the way, this is my picture of the back in a long time ago, almost 40 years ago, when I was in the Army stationed overseas, and I was a finance specialist. And coincidentally, it'll come in full circle once you hear that presentation, how my previous military experience have a sort of a direct effect on some of the opportunities that exist in this unique market. Just bear with me. My brief background, by the way, I've owned a real estate network for 20 years, ever since I retired in 2022. And my current real estate network have several thousand free network members. You can join for free. You can be part of our network of investors. Then you can have access to our off markets, not multiple listed service opportunities. I entered the Army way back in 1980. 22 years later, I retire with a full pension. You know what I'm talking about. And during the Army, I worked at several occupations, and I was initially a finance specialist. Then I became a CID special agent, criminal investigation division of the Army. No different than the Navy, IS, which is the popular TV show that has been running for decades. And of course, I ended up in a military intelligence branch. So I did my duties in 20-something years. So upon retirement, I made the hard transition into the civilian world. I held several jobs over the past few years, mostly with financial planning firms. But I did not like working for others and dealing with difficult bosses. So I decided to enter real estate investing as an entrepreneur, and I promptly started my real estate investment network here in San Francisco Bay Area back in 2004. And currently I've helped thousands of students and investors to invest out-of-state cash flow properties in the best cash flowing markets in the country. Again, my bio is such that I bought my first primary home when I was still in active duty in the Army, and I used a 0% VA loan. And then when I retired in 2002, after 20 years of service, like I said, then I bought several more VA loans, 0% down as a primary owner, not only in California, in Hawaii, Florida, and back to California. Full circle, believe me. And then, of course, I parlay my equity from my various properties that I accumulated over the decades to buy a number of new construction cash flow homes in various growth emerging markets all over the country, starting in Las Vegas, back in the early 2000s, Phoenix, Baton Rouge, South Carolina, Florida. And in 2013, I bought my vacation home in Oahu, Hawaii. And then during the pandemic housing boom, I continued to buy consistently, dollar cost averaging, if you know what that means. I flipped several multi-unit properties, short-term flipping, believe it or not, and did fairly well. And then a couple of years ago, I bought another rental property using my VA loan in Central Florida. So I used my cash flow, passive income, equity proceeds, and I sold a number of rentals over the decades to travel the world. My wife and I have traveled over to 60 countries, many of them multiple times, and have gone to numerous cruises. Since retiring, like I said, more than 20 years ago, my wife and I have traveled full-time while maintaining a thriving real estate consulting business, the Year Real Estate Network in the San Francisco Bay Area, while only work 5 hours per week remotely. That's why I work smart, not work hard, and still run a very thriving business with having several thousand members within our organization. Essentially, I was doing serial house hacking multiple times over the past several decades and not knowing that there's a official term for people do house hacking where you live in one unit and you rent out the other unit or the other 2 units or the other 3 units, 1 to 4 units. You can buy as a primary home, live in one unit for at least 1 year and rent out the other few units so the other renters can pay off most of your mortgages. And when you're able to do it seriously, did I say it right? Serial house hacking, then you can really have a domino effect. And then you can create every few years, you can move from one rental property to another because I have the opportunity to move around because I work remotely and manage my business all these years. I was able to achieve multiple doors, multiple units, multiple streams of income and achieve multi-generational wealth to this day. And I still continue, have the focus and the goal to continue to use my 0% down VA loan to do this amazing, super house hacking. I was the father of house hacking, according to my opinion, and not know about it. Now, a lot of people all over the country are doing house hacking with 0% down VA loan or 3.5% down FHA loan and 5% down Fannie Mae lending loan as a primary owner, primary home. You live there. You got to legitimately live those places, which I was able to do all over the years and parlay myself into multiple doors and scale my real estate portfolio to where I am right now. And I continue to scale. Meanwhile, on my off-duty times, I've been running every morning, almost every day, since 1981. That's right. It's all about consistency on every aspect of life determines the success you have. You can have, whether it's real estate investing, wealth building, or personal goals. That's the key. And you got to be focused and all that, discipline, the whole 9 yards. Along the way, I ran marathons, half marathons, 10-milers, 10Ks, 5K road races all over the U.S. and all over the world. And of course, I work out at the gym since almost 30 years ago, about 4 or 5 times per week. And my wife and I. So I live a life on my own terms, financially free, spiritually, psychologically, healthy eating, super fit, the whole 9 yards. So I want to become a whole person. So here it is. I'm not a Marine, but I have this behavior of a Marine, although I'm in the Army. I should have gone to the Marines. That's another story. The field, the proud, the Army. So let's get back to the Lawton, Oklahoma. You buy long distance. As an investor, you have the opportunity to buy off market. You become my member. When you become a free member of my network, you have access to this off market built to rent opportunities, not just in Oklahoma, in many other markets that I have. I'm not going to go over that right now. Lack of time. You can become part of my network. All you have to do is put your email on my website, newsletter, and just put your newsletter on there and you become a member so you can have access to a weekly email on all aspects of real estate investing opportunities. And finally, if you receive any value from this video, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. This market is very unique. Lawton, Oklahoma, right outside U.S. Army Fort Sill. But by the way, the key about what we do here, regardless of where you live in the country, you can do this. We have a one-stop shop of professional property managers. They can handle all aspects of your investing, regardless of where you live. It's buying long distance, buying you outsource, and delegate everything to our team in various markets that we have relationship with many local team members in various marketplaces. You can do it far away, remotely, long distance, it doesn't matter. your property will be taken care of because we have a one-stop shop of a great team to handle your property. At 50% of the tenants that are renting your property here in Lawton, Oklahoma, are active duty soldiers like myself. So it's amazing. I come in full circle because this market is as amazing. It's easily rentable because the Fort Sill we have, you may not know, is a basic training base for soldiers entering the army. This army post is very stable. It's going to be around for a long time. 50% where people are going to be renting from you, they work in a local area in Lawton and they need a place to rent. They would love to rent a new construction house, which I'm going to show you momentarily. Other than that, active duty soldiers, E4, E5 enlisted, E4 to E5, they are giving and also officers, young second lieutenants and captains, they are giving a bachelor allowance for housing, a housing allowance, tax-free housing allowance by the government, by the army, to pay your rent. So their regular paychecks are not affected. And a typical married soldier, they stay at each duty station 2 to 3 years, sometimes even longer. So actually, when I was a finance specialist in the Army, that's what I did. I out-process and in-process soldiers back and forth, and I gave them housing allowance, stipend. I processed all the paperwork so they can live off post. So my job, I was as a finance specialist in the military, in active duty. It's just a coincidence that this particular market, where the property managers and the seller of these properties, they work very closely with the U.S. Army on post, the Fort Sill, to help to send the soldiers who arrive into the Fort Sill area for basic training or for PC, permanent change of station, with their families, the soldiers. They accommodate, they work together. Our property managers and the post housing office, they work together to help those soldiers to get off-base housing, and they rent our properties. I'm about to show you. So it's a great relationship. So that is such an amazing way to help the community. With that said, when you buy this rental property, again, I'll give you more details momentarily, is that if you're lucky enough to, in the next 10 years, owning this rental property, you may have as little as a total of 3 total tenants, active duty soldier, renting from you. Isn't it amazing how turnkey, how simple it is, how efficient it is to, in a mere 10 years, when your property will grow over time, when you increase your wealth, grows your wealth, you have this great government sponsor active duty soldiers live at your place, and they make one of the best tenants because the military makes the best tenants. Why? Because soldiers are subject to the Uniform Code of Military Justice. That's why they call it GI Joe, and they don't pay the rent. Why wouldn't they pay the rent? Because they have an extra housing allowance to pay you the rent. No reason why any soldier would default unless they are really screwball, which happens. They're not perfect, giving all the government assistance that the active duty soldier are able to obtain. And plus, it's mission related. If they screw up on their rent, all you gotta do is go to their reporting supervisor. They don't want to get in trouble and subject to their career will be in jeopardy if they default on their rent, because you're 24/7 GI Joe. 24/7, you belong to the government, Uniform Code of Military Justice, UCMJ, if you don't pay the rent. So here are some amazing property you will not find anywhere else. This is the best cash flow, highest cash flow property among new construction properties. You can, I'll save you the trouble. You can do as much research as you want above and beyond my presentation. You will not find any high quality new construction in a fast-growing area, a suburban area, such as in this market, Lawton, Oklahoma, where new construction is only $155,000. This slide was a few months ago. The builder have raised the price from $150K, $155K. Nevertheless, you will not find anything like it. New construction, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, around 850 square foot for only $155K, brand new. You have 1-year warranty, 5-year warranty, and 10-year warranty. And he rents for easily around $1,250 to any renter. If you do the numbers, someone put 20 or 25% down payment only to get financing. At the end of the day, after their debt service and all that, and then you get a special mortgage rate. The builder gonna buy down the rate for you to the tune of 5.875%. With that said, with 25% down payment, which is only like $37,500 plus closing costs, $6,500. You minus your mortgage, taxes, insurance, no property management fee for the first year. So you got some great incentive with the rate buy down. At the end of the day, monthly cash flow, net cash flow was $317. I'm not going to go over the key metrics and the total return on the cash over the next few years. Cash flow increases from year over year. So over time, this property is very well performing. This is an off market. You're not going to find anywhere else, by the way. The first phase of inventory is all sold out. We have more investors. We have more demand from investors from all over the country, out-of-state investors, are entering this market than there are supply. So the local builder we work with, they ran out of homes to sell. So they have to build some more. So the phase 2, I don't know what phase it is, maybe even phase 3, this product was available more than 6 months ago. Selling like hotcake because savvy investors know you're not going to find such a low-cost entry-level new construction single-family home in a hot, growing market the way it is. So savvy investors know it's a good deal. It's a great deal. You buy below market value. It's an A-class tenant, B-plus class neighborhood. A lot of infrastructure growth, manufacturing, the civilian workforce supporting the U.S. Army Fort Sill. You have basic training there. You have the retail industry, manufacturing, and a few other industry are located within the area of Lawton, Oklahoma. So it's one of the best kept secret. So it's all about cash flow. And then we have another model, duplex. A duplex only like $320,000, new construction. You put 25% down payment. It rents for $2,500 and both doors. So at the end of the day, you have a monthly cash flow of $600. This is absolutely mind-boggling. Again, selling like hotcakes for very obvious reasons. So they are doing very well. It's a great long-term investment, great wealth building, turnkey, very efficient. You just sit tight and just let the team on the ground to help you grow your portfolio. Again, at some point in time after you purchase, if you want to be a little bit more active, basically this kind of property is passive. It's almost passive investment. Isn't it amazing? Or the property manager can do all the work for you. So at some point in time, if you want to spend more effort, you can convert these properties into a mid-term rental or even short-term rental. There's a thriving short-term rental market in this region. You can do your own research. I could spend 1 hour to talk about this kind of strategies, but for right now, I'm just focusing on long-term rental. That's all you need to know right now. And an article by a bigger packet states that Lawton, Oklahoma is the best market for new short-term rentals. That's right. That's what the data said. But I'm not going to go over too much. Do your own research again, because Lawton, Oklahoma is located very close to North Texas. It's surrounding 200-mile radius. There's a lot of lakes and parks and recreation where a lot of vacationers, they don't mind doing Airbnb is feasible as well. So you have a lot of opportunities once you own this property for several years to pivot into a mid-term rental or short-term rental. But your primary goal is to buy as a long-term rental. And these are some of the additional information about why Lawton is becoming a short-term rental Airbnb hub as well, not just long-term rental. I prefer long-term rental, to be honest with you, because it's easier now. You can scale. You can buy multiple properties by having a hands-off approach as a long-term rental property owner. Does that make sense? The feeder city to Lawton is right on the southern border of northern Dallas. So you have a lot of people from Texas, or they like this southern Oklahoma landscape in terms of vacations or to live or to visit. I'm going to fast forward to the end, and this is one of the short-term renter Airbnb that one of our investors are pursuing. Just so you know, the property itself, this is a single-family home. Inside is very nice. Obviously, it's a brand new, amazing business asset class. Buy something brand new is just very little maintenance, very little upkeep over time. So, and Richard Avani is our seller. He's the point of contact because he's the one promoting this particular property. He's doing very well. He's so busy 24/7 selling this home for investors. Again, we ran out of homes to sell because there's so much demand. So many investors all over the country or buying this kind of great properties in this particular market, which is amazing. So as I conclude, that's all I have to say. This is my contact information. If you want to be part of my network, you can log into my website below. You can contact me. Here's my contact information. Then you become our member of our organization. Then as a free member, you have access to not only on this particular investment opportunity, but we have a lot of different markets. We have teams available on the ground to provide one-stop shop services for out-of-state investors. That's all I have to say. Thank you so much for watching. And again, put your email on my website so you can and log in so you can become a free member of our real estate investing community. And also, if you see any value whatsoever from this video, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and comment below. What do you think about this market? Would you see yourself? Do you see yourself having motivated to buy in this kind of properties? Because you won't find anything similar in any part of the country. I could pretty much guarantee you that. So if you live in Oklahoma or somewhere in Dallas, you know about what's going on in Oklahoma, not just in Lawton, Oklahoma. It's an emerging market. It's up and coming. It's a very affordable, good quality of life area. And so everything's affordable. Investors, they love to achieve high cash flow. This is the highest cash flow type in terms of numbers among all the new construction markets that are located anywhere in the country, for that matter. So highest cash flow, low price, good rent, good cash on cash return, the whole numerical formula that I use and all that, the whole 9 yards. Thank you so much for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.